Hi guys, very good morning to you. Welcome to the video number 298. My name is Ajay and I'm going to talk about today the access tables. Many of you have requested me in the past that besides the videos on the Excel VBA, and of course I have already uploaded a lot of videos in the last 2-3 months on the access VBA, but then you also have some of you have written the email that you want to learn the access from the very beginning. So I'm here with that thing in my mind, and I want to tell you that what are the access tables, because that is the first chapter you should know about the access. So this video is going to be for the beginners. If you know access very well, maybe you would like to skip this video, right? So guys, let us start this. And before I just start, I want to tell you that on my channel you can go to the channel and you would find here different the playlist. As you can see here, if you click on the playlist, this is how the things will happen when you are on my channel. These are all the different playlists which are have the different categories: Excel VBA, access and access VBA. Just go there and whatever actually you want to learn, you can find out all the videos, basic, intermediate and advanced level of the videos, right? So today in this video I'm going to talk about the access. Now when you generally install the Microsoft Office, access doesn't come with that, right? Access, I mean, it can, but I think there is a different the procedure for that you have to specifically tell. Like for example guys, when I purchased this Microsoft 365 Office 2016, I paid the Microsoft, and in return I got everything. They told me that it would have Excel, it would have access, it would have this and that, all that stuff. If you go to the market and if you want to install this access and you are paying something to your shopkeeper, then ensure that that when you say that you need the Office 2007 or 2010 or 2013 or 2016, they should also install the access. Generally people skip the access part. So once you have the access, you need to go here in your this Windows, and whatever window you're using, you just need to find it out where exactly your access is. Now for example, in my case, if I just scroll it down, this is what I have: access 2016. This is how it looks, right? Now if you guys work on the MIS, I'm sure I don't really have to talk about so much on this, but still, if you haven't never have ever seen the access, then this is how the access guys looks like, right? It's a database. It looks like Excel, but at the same time it entirely works on the different concept. Now the question comes, why actually you want to learn the access? Well, the programmers, if you want to make your career in the MIS field, if you want to be very good in analytics, then this is one of the best tool given by the Microsoft. The reason is because if you open the Excel, if I'm going to open the Excel, let's say, now what happens in the Excel, you have the around 10 lakh something rows, and then you have the lot of columns as well. If I just see the columns, how many columns I have 16,384 columns. But unfortunately, if you can't use all these cells, right? If your sheet is going to have on every cell you will write something and you try to save it, Excel will hang, because it is not right now not made for this kind of a thing, right? So what people do is, because access can store up to 2 GB of the data, they like to keep their information in the tables. And the beautiful thing about the access is that Microsoft has given us the even from the front end of the Excel, you can connect it with the access, right? I have uploaded many videos on my channel. You can go there and you can find it out. Excel VBA, connecting access from Excel, and the vice versa is also there, right? How to import the data from the Excel to the access. You might have seen that videos if you're not new to the channel. If you're new, then as I said, just go ahead and find out those playlists, right? Okay, so now because of this connectivity also, people really love this the option, because you can store the 2 GB up to 2 GB of the data in the access, and then whatever information you want to retrieve, that specified information, you can simply fetch that information using the Excel VBA or maybe using the access macros. So it could be, I mean, in both the ways, right? We're not going to talk about that, because that is something which I will be talking in the other videos. This is going to be a very basic video. So in this video, I want to tell you that how you can actually paste the information in the tables, how you can fill in your tables. What are the tables? As I said, table is like a spreadsheet. Like in Excel, where do you store the information? You store the information on the spreadsheets, right? You write here something, and then of course you can make the pivot charts, you can make the dashboards. That's separate thing. But right now we are talking about only where to store the information. So in the Access, you have the tables. In the tables, you store the information. Okay, so let us go ahead, and first of all we will learn that how to create the tables in the Access. Okay, so we will be doing this thing, how to create the Access tables, okay, within Access. So that means that you are not dependent on any external source, right? So how are we gonna do that? Let's go ahead. I have opened the Access, and now what you need to do, you need to go to the create, and you need to click on the table design. Okay, when you click on the table design, guys, you get to see this field name and the data type. Now field name means that what headers you want to give. Now for example, if I want to let me write it in the Excel also, right? I will be linking the Excel file also in the next step. So let's say this is what we need: employee ID and name and age. Let us say this is the information we need. Okay, so the same information if you have to create in the Access, how you want to create that? Field name, employee name, data type. Now data type means that what kind of the value it should hold. Should it hold short text, long text, or number? Now employee name can be short text, long text, that depends. So you choose the short text. Let's say field size is 255, it can have the 255 characters. Okay, so I mean this is all like you can keep it like short text also. I don't think so that will create any problem, because generally 255 is field size. As you can see in the journal tab, it's more than enough, right? What is the next thing I want to create? Well, the next header I want to create is employee. So this was actually, guys, employee ID. Employee ID, we would like to keep it number. Okay, you can also keep it a text, but then when you will sort the things, if you are working on the Access data and you want to sort the data in ascending or descending order, these data types will matter a lot. I have I had uploaded a video also on this. You go ahead and watch the playlist called Excel VBA Access interviews. There somebody asked me that what is the difference between the data type, number, and text if it is to be given to the value numeric. So I explained there that if you do the sorting, then in the text it takes it in a different way. If you do the sorting on the numbers, and if the data type is number, then it does the sorting in a different way, right? Okay, so employee is number, I would like to keep it, and then name is going to be, now name is you see that it says the name you supplied is a reserved word, so it's actually the Access word. We're not going to change that. I just simply put the underscore it. Reserved word means that the words which are dedicated to the Access or the VBA programming. Okay, so name is there, and the final is age. Age obviously has to be a number, so I'm going to keep it like this. Now I will not be going to talk about these caption, default value, validation rule, validation text. I have already talked about these things in my previous videos. You need to find out the playlist called Access tables, and you can find it out. You will find out there the videos called the validations, kind of the title. Just go there and watch it. Now these are the three headers I have created. Finally, you click on the close. Do you want to save the changes? Yes, I want to save the changes. You want to give it a name. Well, you can give the name called employee database. It's all up to you. Okay, now this prompt would always come. There is no primary key defined, right? Now primary key means that do you want to create any primary key, because Access always gives you gives you this prompt. It means that any value, any field header, employee ID, name, or age, you would like to create the primary key on that. If you say yes, I want to create the primary key, then that would mean that value should not be repeated. If any time user is going to enter something there which is already entered, he will not be or she will not be allowed. Okay, this is also one of the video I have talked in the Excel Access VBA interview questions. You can note it down. And there I talk that what is the difference, what is the importance of the primary key access interview. Okay, so but I told you it's all to keep the check. For example, employee IDs are unique, so you never like to repeat them, but that depends upon the situation to situation. Right now we don't need that. Do you want to create a primary key? No. I simply say no. That's fine. Now you see the table is created here. You have to open it, double click it, and now you can enter the information. So I'm gonna enter the information, employee ID, like this and like this, and when you click outside, that pencil will go off. That means the data is saved, right? So now close it and you can reopen it. So in this way, guys, you can set up the information. Now you see that because employee ID you have given in the design view, if you want to go back design view, you can go from the view, right? Design view, and you can further, if you want to add some more headers, you can add, or if you want to modify anything. For example, if you want to make the employee IDs a text, you can do that. But then what will happen once you close a table and you reopen it, you would see that those employee IDs are aligned on the left side, because text when you enter in Excel or Access, they are always aligned to the right side. Numbers are always aligned to the right side and the text are always aligned to the left side, as you can see in the name, because we have defined name data type as text, short text, in the design view. So it's always aligned to the left side. Okay, now this is how you write the tables. I mean, you can create your own table. That's the first part. Okay, now what is the next thing you want to do? Now most of the time when you work in the MIS, you like to create the tables, but that's kind of a one-time activity, because once you create the tables, you really don't like to write the information there. You really don't like to put the information there. You like to put the information from the outside, from the Excel, from the text files, from the CSV files, import. Though that is what we are going to discuss. Now if you look at these, the what I'm selecting right now, for example, this is called employee ID name underscore age. They are all called field headers in the Access, right? And the values which are here, 100, ABC, 12, and then further if you add something, they are called the records. They are called the field records. Okay, and the value in this cell called 100, ABC, on the individual level, they are called the field values. Okay, so you should know that what is actually called the field value, right? What is called the field value, field header, field value, and then record. Okay, record means the entire row which will have your all the data. This one, like this is my first record. You can see here 101. So if somebody says that you are on the which record, it means that he's asking you which record you have selected, or on which record you are, right? If they say that what are the field headers, you would tell them that employee ID name underscore age. Don't start telling them the values. If they say that what is the field value, and beneath your field header name underscore, you can tell them it's ABC, right? So these are the terms you should be comfortable with. Okay, now what is the next thing I want to do? Now the next thing I want to do is, if you have the data in the Excel, for example, now this is the same data. Now let me add some employee ID here, like this. Okay, and I write some names here, A, B, C, and D, and I'll write some age here. Now this is your, let us say, the Excel data. It can be in the millions, remember, there's no problem. Now what if you want to copy and paste? So we are now going to see that copy and paste the data from Excel. Okay, this is what we need to understand. So you can also copy the data from the Excel, no problem in that, right? For example, I open this, I select this, and I delete this. Now when you click on this arrow, you see this arrow, the entire Access table is going to be selected, and if you press delete, the data is going to be deleted. Remember, you will not be able to undo it like in Excel. So you have to be, very careful on this part. So if I click yes, the data will remove, but don't worry, headers will not go anywhere. Headers will remain there. Headers will be removed only if you go to the design view and you remove from here, like you select this entire row and then you press delete, then it will be removed, otherwise it will not be. Okay, so I go back to the view like this, or you can, if you click here and now if you press delete, then also the field header can be removed. Anyway, so we have got the blank axis, guys. Now I go back to this. Now the field headers are already created, so I simply go ahead and copy the data. I go to the axis and again I click here and I control V. You are about to paste 4 records. You want to are you sure you want to paste these records? Yes or no? Well, yes, of course, right? So just this is the shortcut. Now if you have data in millions, then copy paste is going to take a lot of time. Trust me on that, right? And that is also not the good option to do that, right? This is just for your information that you can also do this if the data is small. Quickly you can do it for the quick analysis if you're looking forward to. Otherwise, how you're going to import this information into a different table? Let's say this is what we are going to learn. Now you have a book 1 and I'm going to save this in my desktop, on my desktop, and we will name it as test. Let's say test is going to be my workbook. Test. I save this. Okay, now remember the data is on the sheet 2. This Excel has sheet 1 and sheet 2. Okay, so I close this. There we go. Now click on any of the table. Since we have only one table, so I right click on it. I want to go to the import Excel. If it is a text file, you can click on the text file also, right? The procedure will remain the same, right? I will talk about the Access database in different video, but again you can also import the one table data. You can import the the table data from the another Access also using this option, but right now we will focus on the Excel. Okay, now these 3 options will come and we will cover them one by one. Now import the source data into a new table, guys. So new table means you want to create a new table. Fine. Then first of all, what you want to import, click on the browse, check your file where you have kept that file. I've kept that file in the on the desktop, and I'm going to open it. Now when you open it, you need to click OK. After you see that I have the complete path here, C drive and users, my name and desktop and slash the name of the file. That means I'm ready to go. Click OK. Once you click OK, you get to see here some sort of this kind of a sheet. Now remember, some people they get confused, but it is a sheet 1, right? We need the data from the sheet 2. So you select the sheet 2 and now you can see that the data is looking perfect. Alright, first row contains column heading. By default, Access will check mark this. If you don't want to do that, if you uncheck it, this is how it would look like. Then you will have the field 1, field 2, field 3 as your headers, which doesn't make any sense. So we will like to keep employee ID, name and age as headers. So I click on the next. We don't want to do any formatting changes. Keep it simple. Click next. No primary key. I don't want to create any primary key. Maybe my employee ID can be repeated. I allow that. Next, import to the table. You can give the table name here. I can write here new table. Okay, finish. Close. Let's have a look. Double click here and there we go, guys. This is how you can import the table. Now remember, we imported the data in the Access, but in the different table, new table actually we created it, but it is possible. Now if you want to create it in the existing table, for example, this is my table. I again click here and delete it. Now what if you want to import in this table? So again, no problem. You go to the import, again the same window, Excel. Instead of now import the source data into a new table, you choose this, append a copy of the records. Where do you want to append? If you click here, you will have all the tables. We have only 2 tables, right? So I want to append it obviously in the employee database. Then browse, go to your file. So the file was test. So there we go. Open, okay. And now I want to choose the sheet 2. Next, employee database, finish. Field name does doesn't exist in the destination table employee database, right? Now this error is very clear. It says that the table where you have the employee database, this name field doesn't exist. Obviously, error occurred. Okay, I got the error. I'm not sure whether you captured that or not, but by simply reading the error, we can understand what it says. Now, if you remember in your Excel, the header was name, but in the Access, it is name underscore, right? So you will have to go back and you will have to change the name of your Excel file to name underscore, because in Access, name is considered as a reserved word. Okay, so you can't use the name. And you remember when I was creating it, it popped up the error. So I'm gonna make it like this. So what you learned is the headers should be same. If you don't have a same headers, you will have a problem in importing the data. In the new table, you can import, because in the new table, everything will be decided there and then. If you look at this table, you see that it has an employee name, employee ID, it has a name also. It accepted that, right? But in the existing table, it is not going to. So again, let me quickly run this. Append the table in the employee database. Go to the browse, test. I open it, and there we go. This time it should select the sheet 2, next, finish. Oh, very nice. We got the data, right? This is how you can make the things. Now, the fourth thing actually, which I want to tell you now is how to link the table, right? So again, we will click import, and you click on the Excel. You use this option, link to the data. Access will create a table that will maintain the link to the source data in Excel. Changes made to the source data in Excel will be reflected in the link table. So if you do any changes in that table in the Excel, the changes will reflect in Access immediately. So browse, test, open, okay, sheet 2, look at this now, next, finish. I'll not change the name, I'll keep it sheet 2, but you can. Alright, so you see that this entirely looks different from the other tables, because this is a linked table, guys. Now if you would ask me the benefit of this, well, it's a great feature. People use it a lot, because Excel also has a constraint of 2 GB. If you are a big company, if you have a big database in trillions, like some company like Amazon, where every day so many customers come and they do the transactions, right? Or Flipkart, any company which has a big database, huge database, then Access is not a good tool there. Then people like to switch to the another applications like SQL Server, or there are other databases also which are not of the Microsoft. But since I don't want to talk about any other product other than the Microsoft, so I can say that SQL Server is a good option, right? So in this case also, what people do unnecessarily, if you don't want to put the burden on the Access, then you can link the file, because when you link the file, be it a text file, be it a Excel file, in the text file you can really store a lot of data, right? That you can't even store in Excel. So people like to link the files. In that way, there is no limit. I mean, that's not really going to be counted in your 2 GB. So that's a very smart trick people do like that. Now if I open this, you see I have the same data here. Okay, so if I just open my Excel, the same Excel, and I do some changes, for example, I open the text file. Now it says that it's read only. So this is also very interesting, guys. Now somebody might be wondering that test2, I have never opened it. How come it is showing as a read only? Then if your Access is open, it will show you as read only. Okay, so if I cancel this and I close this and I close the Access also, so let me close this database 1. Now if you want to by default, generally the Access stores in the documents, as you can see on the title also, documents, and in the document the /database1.accdb, right? That's the extension of the Access database, accdb. If you're using 2003 Access, then it would be .mdb. Well, I'm not sure. I'm sure. I mean, you must not be using the Access 2003 because now we have Access 2016 also. So a lot of changes are done. So if I want to save it now, how I'm going to save it? I click on the save as, save database as. So I click on this, and then I click here, save as. Go to your the desktop. I'm already on my desktop, so I click save, and the data is saved. Enable content, that's fine. I close it, and now let us open the file. First of all, I open the test file. Okay, now let me do some changes here. Let's write here Ajay, Alan, and let's say Yusuf. Okay, so these are the names I have done. I'm going to close it. I save the file. Okay, now let me open that Access also, the database. So I have to see actually where is my database. I think that's the database 1. I should have given it a good name, but you can do it. Just press F2 on the desktop and you can do that. So now let me open the sheet 2, guys. You see that it is refreshed. So this works the same way. This is also kind of a table you have created. Okay, so this is called the how to link the tables with the external source. Okay, you can also link it with the text file, but generally people link it with the Excel files, right? And if you want to rename it, well, you can also rename it, like just need to press F2 and you can write here my database or whatever you want to call it, right? So this is all about the tables. So we learned that how you can create your table, how you can enter the headers and the values, and then we saw that how to link the table, how to import the data from the Excel, and same way you can import from the text file also, from the CSV file also, not a problem. That's the same window would come. And also you learned that how to append the data from the external source Excel in the existing Access table. So this is all about, guys, the Access, and if you have any questions, let me know. You can quickly go to the Access table playlist and find out. You will find out there 5 or 6 videos, I believe, and you can watch it. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe to the channel because your support is very much required. And as always, any questions you have, just leave your comments. Thank you so much. Bye bye.